been the best year, but it's had some real lows in amongst it. The ending to the first season of 2024 was marred in low points for this sAw squad. After falling short at the major from being 2-0 up, they failed to qualify for Pro League. They fall out of Blast. There was setback after setback, and so this team has had to rebuild itself post the player break. And they're now in that position of dreams. Playoffs already secured, and now they want to try and sweeten the deal, and it starts off here on Nuke. A map that sAw have found a lot of success on, but one that NAVI do have in their wheelhouse, and Alexi even spoke to the testament of that in his interview before the game.
Yeah, just the fact that sAw were able to reset after that major L is impressive enough. We don't see many teams pop up that quick, disappear, and then come back in the way that they have, beating G2 and the Mongols at this competition, and decisive victory over G2, even on this very map, off the back of a strong T side. And that's been probably the best place to watch sAw on these T halves. So let's see if they can squeeze anything through here against world number 1. This pistol is looking pretty unlikely for the sAw squad, but they do find a pick on Ema in main. 2v3. And time ticking away. That bomb's retrieval is not even a factor right now. They need kills before they can even consider this round, and NAVI will disallow it. Sure, there's no pressure for anyone really involved, but NAVI want to keep themselves in high standing, in high standards. And I don't expect them to come in cold, even to a game like this.
Yeah, I think sometimes though, when you end up with these sort of games where you're both locked in, you could say there is, but I don't think I agree, because I think the way
you think there is pressure.
I think there's a lot of pressure for two different reasons. One, NAVI are on the back of a really stable tournament run here. Yeah. They're the kind of one team that have consistently had their heads held high. They've beat some good opposition to get to this point, with a convincing win over the likes of Astralis to get to this this stage at Cologne. And so they want to keep that track record up. And to do that, they've got to beat the team that's been upsetting, the team that is got hot hands coming into this, and a team that have everything to gain from winning it. The difference between saying that you played in a quarterfinal and a semi-final at Cologne feels night and day when you're sAw.
Absolutely.
So I think there is pressure in this matchup. NAVI, they want to maintain this spotless track record here at IEM Cologne, and so they at least stick the landing versus the Pistols in this second round.
Oh yeah, there's an angle where you could say sAw, they don't want to be the second highest placing Iberian team in Cologne. Movistar Riders, of course, a couple of years ago made their way all the way to the semi-finals. That's where we, of course, saw the breakout of Sunpius, who just got eliminated last game. So here we go. First gun round, sAw. What are they going to pull out? Able to muster an 8-round T-side against G2 here just the other day. But this is a different beast. This is a Nuke team just as well. Alexi, where you often see star riflers positioned outside, tucked behind red. Here's them crossing on this smoke. He knows they're in secret. 4 players making their move, and he's got the backstab. It's beautiful. Easy kill. Can't escape with a second, but he's got all the info required. They do go down vent. JL risking it all right now. And with his back turned against the smoke, he's able to get tucked in before Roman makes his play. Nice awareness from JL. He didn't believe that that was a secret play. Not for a moment. And he makes the right call as they come back up.
JL might not have believed, but the rest of NAVI certainly did. 2 players down on lower. Bit tries to make some concessions here by pushing all the way through ramp and retaking lobby. But sAw, they are very, very good at manipulating these rotates, and that's always been how they've looked to play Nuke.
Wonderful's just repositioned to hell as well, so actually he is committing to upper. So sAw have actually got the right read in this round. Ema, you can't let him get away with more than one, but he's in a potent position. Single door is perfect for sAw.
Ema, here's the util. Flashed off the line. Tries to deal with it, but can't contain. And so Bit and Wonderful both left on this top side now with the bomb. Planted down on lower. Wonderful arrives. short in towards the ramp side, but Bit might be the one who has to make a move here. If he can strike one from the tally, suddenly they can look to go for this, and it won't happen. Story turns around and deals with him. And so we don't have to wait long to see what sAw are bringing to the table here. I think this is going to be a real test of NAVI's CT reads, their rotates, their ability to play for info, because sAw love a bit of this trickery, slowing down in the mid-round, trying to have NAVI outbrain themselves, out-rotate themselves. And NAVI fall for it. sAw have a lot of tricks up their sleeve here on Nuke.
Absolutely. They are going to excel in those 3v3s where they get the chance to make a read, and NAVI basically have to either go for an information play or a gamble. And they do the latter in this round.
Yeah, the thing I've just loved most about this sAw recovery arc that we're getting is it went from a year that very easily could have actually been a super sAw spot for this sAw squad. I hate it. That's the one time I used the word sAw, but man, you know, after going up at the major 2-0 and being in that pole position and then falling out, it felt like that this team got cooked. They lost all that confidence they were playing with. That was after the insane turnaround back at the RMRs as well. You know, it felt so much like this could have been a year of missed opportunities. And then you look at what happened after the major, and the results started trending downwards. They had a horrible time in London. They got flat out embarrassed in London. That was also where we saw Berry start to link up with this team, and they were singing his praises, saying that they clearly had a lot to work on. And the evidence from all this is they went away over the break, and they got better. They went over the parts that needed improving. And this is a sAw squad now that do have some of that similarity from the run that we saw at that major. Difference is they know what it's like for it to fall apart. They know what it's like to lose. And so they've been putting in the hours, putting in the legwork so that that doesn't happen. Yeah. Fast out ramp, Aros Dos leads the charge. Him and Ujax have been monumental in sAw finding themselves in this position. So with one of the stars opening up here, the front man taking space, and now he's got Ujax in alongside him. It's a potent twosome trying to take control over towards the double doors. Mutierrez with a key trade.
That would have been a great position from him, but the door nade, you don't see that very often. sAw trying to take a lot of control despite the Molotov blocking their path. Mutierrez committed in the open, trying to set up Roman, but he will fall at the first hurdle. Mutierrez just needs a kill. He's isolated in this position right now, trying to get out of there. JL backstab from the sneaky secret wrap. And Mutierrez buying a few more seconds in the sight, hits another headshot, putting this into a 1v2. Alexi on the clock, out of time, out of chance, and sAw able to do it again on this lower bomb site. Exciting stuff right now, looking explosive. And coming up with a second round. I can't believe Mutierrez is allowed to escape there. I guess it's because JL saying he's smoked, he can't help, buy some time. But they can both swing ramp and fight together. NAVI cool off, and not to their help.
I mean, the way sAw play these T-sides, it really does test your trust in your teammates, and that's always how it feels. It tests the IGL's trust and everyone else conveying the info appropriately, making good mid-round moves to pick up any pieces of info, and it tests the rest of the team's relationship with the IGL and the faith in his read of the game, because they do love to manipulate these rotates between the bomb sites.
That's the rifle gone in no man's land, and they even need it to see a second player crossing, so Wonderful can't even escape with it. And any danger that this round represented is gone immediately. Very well done by sAw. They don't let Alexi do it again. And JL realizes there's nothing going on outside. I can't even play this Zeus. So maybe they'll try and get that gun together. Meanwhile, sAw have crept contact into A. Very good at finding these gaps. Oh. That's a lot of tags for JL. Maybe a gun to gain as a result. Yoink. But even Materials coming up secret. sAw leaving no stone unturned. Might not matter as JL walks in main anyway. A guaranteed gun removal here from sAw. They keep their rounds clean while doing it. Ooh.
Terrorists win.
A threatening start from sAw.
NAVI could find themselves in a rough spot very, very quickly here. This sAw T-side's building up.
It's gonna A-pop.
And so after so many of these rounds have come to trying to get down lower, trying to outposition NAVI, now they look to do it with brute force. In they come, Aras DOS on the opener. Flash through main, but no one plays on the back of it. Imma waits, tucked in over at the vents. Great tournament put forward from Imma as he looks to make a move, but he won't stop that bomb plant. Does sniff out the player back of vent. Another line for him, but the rest of the gang move in. Story and Mutiriz still alive for sAw, and it's this flank for Story that Mutiriz is looking to buy time for. They hold on to the heavens. It's a dink, sure, but not the killing blow. Story does not move a muscle. Mutiriz wasting time. Bit finally finds him, and Story walks out. Oh, flick on down, Story! Rewrites his story with that clutch there. 3 kills, keeps sAw in pole position. NAVI crumble under the weight of Story's heaven flank.
Oh, this is no one-trick pony. Every player can deliver these clutch rounds for sAw, and the setups are perfect. An A hit with the big ramp flank, and Story just commits the whole way. That's after Materials jumps the gun as well. I think sAw have caught NAVI by surprise. They have to so many teams over this year.
And you know, if you're NAVI here, you almost can't blame them for coming in feeling super confident. They even alluded to it in the interview. Nuke is a strong map for this team.
Alexi was surprised. He said, yeah, give it a go. Go on. We're happy with this map. We are more than comfortable.
I think NAVI have come into this thinking that they got 2 great maps to play to open up. But they're learning the hard way. sAw have a lot up their sleeve. Now the pistols here doing a lot of damage for NAVI as they try to conjure up around from nowhere. Alexi's baiting them in, the rest of the gang ready to swing on the back of his contact, and so well handled from NAVI.
Felt like they jumped the gun on that one, right? They wanted to keep the momentum rolling. They spot a couple players in A, they just try and go for the throat, but a cancel would have been nice when they realized they were walking into minimum 2 players so early in the round. So sAw definitely jumped the gun and get a shocking reality check from NAVI. Cannot get ahead of yourself in a game like this, right? You may win some incredible clutch rounds. You may read NAVI like a book, but they're never going to go down. They're never going to give up and stop fighting. So stay honest and stay humble. sAw still heavy underdogs, despite some prowess shown so far in this match.
On the NAVI side of things, you often in these games so far have had to look no further than this rifling trio who have been putting on a fantastic tournament for the NAVI squad.
Wow.
Imma getting involved early. It's another one of these fast topside rushes, and Imma will withstand it. 2 kills.
Here he comes.
Tries to anchor the site down, but Story is brimming with confidence. Knocks Alexi out of the contest, and now wonderful smoked off up in heaven. Bit makes a desperate move, and that only feeds more to Story. Wonderful, top in the charts right now for this NAVI squad.
Ooh.
Tag to Story, but this guy is just knowing no bounds right now. He's playing with uncontested levels of confidence, man. He's making the wildest moves, and sure, he gets punished here. But the promise of knocking that AWP out of the round was just too tantalizing for Story. And he'd already done more than enough to secure this round for sAw.
We're going to see a lot of those cheeky plays. Like, Story's move there is lovely. As soon as he realizes Alexi stops spraying, either waiting for the reload or Alexi pulling nades, just goes through the smoke. You're going to get those disrespectful plays, those things that sAw have mastered, playing a lot of CS online, playing a lot of upcoming teams, and putting it to use against the big boys now on the big stages. A reminder to NAVI that not everyone respects them. Some explosive rounds already in this game. Ooh, that's brutal. On the ramp push. Ujux catches an opener. Now it's still smoked out behind NAVI, so no one's committing, but it's a 5v4 untraded. Well, we got to see someone save the day. Wonderful could be that guy pushed in through the hut. It's got a great line if they try and retreat, but if sAw commit here, it's too late to stop the bomb at least. Sixth, or fourth player rather, Story, crossing in. Wonderful, good adjustment.
It's a huge name to find as well. Top performer Story, not able to make a dent this time around. Fast play into lower.
sAw have just been really solid in these post plants though, haven't they? So immediately door off again, making it a consistent part to mean NAVI can't cross safely through this tunnel. They've got to consider both angles. Meanwhile, Materials, there's always a man in the backstab, gets his kill. Missed AWP shot, they go hunting, they go pushing forward and further upwards as sAw gain themselves 6 rounds on this T side. The aggression, unparalleled by NAVI. And a big triple from Ujux. But no more. I'm liking the door break. It's a cool idea. It's keeping, you know, you don't see it every day, but they're doing it every time they hit this B bomb site.
Seeing the way sAw are playing is so exciting. They never let up. They are relentless. And that's kind of what went missing for this team after that major. That was the attitude they had where they felt invincible. That RMR run really bumped up their estimations of themselves and what they were capable of. And that was the sort of gumption and aggressiveness that they were playing with on their major run. And that was what was missing once this team fell out. That's what they had to work on rebuilding. And at this point, when you've battled through Cologne in the fashion that they have, I think you'd find it hard to come into this game and not play super confident, not be borderline arrogant with how they take some of the approaches here. I think NAVI were expecting a hell of a lot more respect here on Nuke. And that's just not in the vocabulary of sAw right now.
Just doesn't interest them.
They lose an important player to open up this round, but Story getting a Don and AWP. He's made the game look real pretty so far, rifling. So weapon of choice now out and out for the sAw squad.
NAVI have good position, so they've re-cleared lobby. They've got JL tucked in upper, aware that they could be everywhere, and Alexi is down lower, but they're going to need to get set up on this top site and support JL quickly, because sAw again are scaling the rafters, and that's another pickup on the lobby push. Gone from bad to worse to in a hearse for NAVI.
JL and Alexi both going to find a killer piece, and that's the bomb now dropped over in main. Last remaining players here for sAw, both coming from the heaven side. Aros Dos opens up with one, but Roman's going to have to do this. No. Alexi makes a big misstep there, burns alive, and the tag in the molly is heard. Roman knows the bit's in the door.
That is not a mistake you see from the big brain captain of NAVI every round. Jumping the gun.
And you said coming into this, NAVI might not be feeling a lot of pressure, but I think if that play shows anything, it's that they certainly are.
I apologize. I put my hands up. Right now, NAVI are feeling the burn.
Those are not the mistakes you expect to see out of Alexi B. And it has gifted sAw an even bigger lead. Roman standing the test of time.
Had a clutch from Story, had a clutch from Roman. U-Jerks with some huge entry work. Oh, it's just getting worse and worse. Bit tried that before, denied again. Materis even picks the AWPer outside. And NAVI just getting met with punch after punch. Left, right, good night. Molly's going to reposition JL into the open. The way this team plays off of each other is just clinical right now. Very smooth. And an 8-round T-side. They did this v NAVI. They plan on doing more. Oh, sorry, G2 rather. Option for 9 is available. NAVI saved here. They want a full buy in the final round. Nothing short of impressive for these Portuguese players.
Terrorists win.
And it's not like NAVI came in looking cold. Sure, Cologne was full of upsets, but NAVI were one of the only Tier 1 teams who didn't drop the ball in their debut, destroying Pain, making that game look easy, following up, taking down Astralis in clinical 2-0 fashion. This is not where I expected the upsets to begin. But sAw, that's been their whole run through the play into the groups. 2 wins over Mongols, taking down G2 in fighting form. And now, NAVI in their crosshairs. Take the shot.
IMA's in a very good position here, and with Wonderful Zorb drawing so much attention away, NAVI, the best they were hoping for was 4 down the stretch of this CT half. They're in their best spot yet to do it. It's Roman and Materis, the veteran players of this sAw squad. Decades of experience between the two of them, and all of it spent together, but it's not going to help them in this 2-on-3. IMA and Bit mop it up, and so NAVI, the bare minimum is locked in. 4 rounds, all they muster. sAw with a convincing lead to open up a potential run into the semi-finals. NAVI was surprised to see sAw stay true to their nuke, but as this game's gone on, we see why sAw feels so confident. They've got a point to prove here. NAVI, they thought they basically had two maps picked by theirs truly heading into this veto, and that has not proven to be the case. A very strong first half put forward from the sAw squad.
Alexi seems surprised that sAw would even risk picking Nuke into NAVI. Well, now I think Alexi is surprised for another reason. What a dominant T side for sAw. We'll have to see if they can keep it up, because it's one thing starting strong, it's another thing finishing against the world #1. So Materia is just re-peeking after a dink. Drops Seamer on the silo. NAVI starts scaling outside, and Materia probably needs to stick to these headshot angles. A peek out here could be certain death, and NAVI decide to reset.
Can imagine for NAVI, it's just nice not being on the whim of some of these sudden pace changes from sAw. All of a sudden it's them getting to set the precedent in this pistol. Aggro in from ramp from Mutiris. That's the guy you last saw outside, spotted pushing ramp. So are they ready for a second man? Ujex lies in wait. Story takes contact, but that's only going to make this position that much more powerful. Ujex has got all three right here. Can he deliver on them? A lot of damage found to Alexi, and it was well worth teeing up Ujex in at ramp as just JL remains.
Get him.
sAw are coming for the pistol. They're going for NAVI's throat, and there's no room left to breathe as sAw clap down on NAVI to open up this second half.
Just choke slammed into the ground there. What a position, what a bait setup for Ujex, and he delivers on it on ramp. sAw with a pistol, and NAVI have got to be shell-shocked, stun-locked right now. With no bomb plant, it's going to be double digits before all said and done.
Even the conversations around the veto suggested that NAVI expected a lot more respect here. sAw, they're playing to their strengths. Thus far, they've been in uphill battles every time, and they've been able to withstand it. They're not thinking about who lays out ahead of them. That is just another obstacle to get past. As this sAw machine lurches to life on the CT side. Opener secured up against the pistols here. If you're sAw, you just want to keep it clean, minimize those losses. It's NAVI, the ones feeling all the pressure.
Yeah, and they play like they have the experience as well, right? It's not like they're jumping the gun and really chasing these kills. That's what NAVI were hoping for with the Deagle outside on silo. But sAw, they get the kill. They realize NAVI don't have util or weapons. They can't go anywhere. Don't need to overcommit. So many teams will be chomping at the bit at this opportunity to steal the map away. But sAw just let it come to them. 10-4 now. The game must begin for NAVI, or it will be gone before they even get started.
I mean, there are many characters across Counter-Strike that have stayed within their region in an effort to build it up. One of the ones that really springs to mind whenever you have that conversation is obviously tabseN from Big. And how he's prioritized trying to build up German Counter-Strike his whole career. Well, when you look at Mutiris and at Roman, they fall under that belt.
Yeah.
This has been a lifelong goal for these two players. A lifelong dream. Putting Portugal in the limelight of Counter-Strike.
And some really young and fresh pieces thrown into this roster to up the firepower, up the level. Players like you, Jerk, Story, Aros Dos. Ooh, Navi's firepower comes to play this round. 2 entries as they catch a player flanking outside, get a ramp pick, send it B. But Roman's got really good timing here. And Arostos can cut down the lurk of Ema. He's heard him walk through. Now their eyes fixated on the wrong position. And surprise, surprise, it's Roman waiting inside. Alexi's too late to this party. There's no cake left. And no stone unturned for sAw as they find 11-4.
And that's from a man deficit as well. They're on the back foot in that round, and you would not have known it. It felt like at the end of last season, sAw's story was going to have the saddest of endings. It was going to be all about potential and what could have been.
They went to a major. Oh, it took them 10 years. Oh, yeah, sure. They bombed out. They lost 3 games in a row. It doesn't matter. They got there, Harry. That's their Super Bowl. No, that was just their warm-up. They were just getting started. They're already in the Lanxess. You will see them here in Cologne. But the question is, how far can they go?
And doing this versus the unblemished NAVI.
Yeah. One of the only teams who haven't shown weakness this event, who haven't struggled in any capacity. You can't look at NAVI at this tournament and go, oh, a little shaky. Oh, 13-4. 13-4 over Pain. 13-4 over Astralis. 13-7. They haven't dropped double digits.
And even in moments where the #1 ranked team has had man advantages, has had the map control, they have not been able to answer the problem put forward from sAw.
Pistols. NAVI are giving sAw map point.
We might be witnessing something very magical here as sAw surge towards the finish line on their map pick. Roman, this guy's had doubles all day, but this time just the one and done. There's layers of defense here though for sAw, and Alexi can't continue fighting solo.
Were you really ready for this? Was anyone ready for this? Sure. This sAw storyline, how exciting. Maybe they have a chance against NAVI. It's a seeding match, but to do it in this fashion, to play with this confidence, Materius is flanking them outside. There's no way you are ready for this.
It's one thing to have potential, it's another thing to realize it. And that's what sAw are trying to do. This would be a statement victory on map 1. Alexi just looking to do some damage here, 1v3. The captain going to try and keep things in check for NAVI, but the odds are against him. He's got to get past the 2 front men of sAw, and he won't survive the crossing. Arostos knocks the captain out of the round, and sAw are just 5 kills away from not just beating NAVI on Nuke, but destroying NAVI on Nuke to open up this series that could send them into those semi-finals. NAVI have been the ones dealing out 13-4s. And now they might be on the receiving end of one.
Can anyone stop this? Nade on the smoke, sAw. Don't force the issue. They go back and do it again. Break just falling a little shy. As NAVI managed to cross, they take a bit of a beating on the way. JL dinked in the lobby. 4 players silently creeping down lower. This is something for NAVI. We'll see if sAw call it or if they just double down on upper. They haven't got any inclination that NAVI have 4 players in B right now. So JL plays nice and passive. NAVI just need to make sure not to give it away too early, because at the moment, they can just plant the bomb. Now, of course, NAVI aren't going to be feeling as comfortable as it looks to us. Everywhere they've gone, every move they've made, sAw have been watching, they've been ready. But little did NAVI know, a bomb plant and a 5v5 post is on the tip of their tongue.
I mean, this is the nature of how sAw play this map, right? Occasionally you're going to have these reads and you will get out position. They were anticipating something over towards the top end of the map. They've kept all 5 players there.
It's a very reasonable gamble from sAw, and honestly, they can just save if they want. There's nothing wrong with that call. You know, you fully all in the upper site, and you, in fairness, never had any understanding that NAVI had crossed 4 secret. So, sAw are going ramp. This could just be to save, and it probably should be at this point in the round. Bomb half ticked, and as I said, 0 position to set them up. So this is actually a very reasonable call for sAw, who can afford to lose a round in this fashion at the scoreline they have.
I kind of love it. It's also the least, arguably, you know, you can say, sure, you outposition, you outread them, but I think at this scoreline, that's probably the least satisfying way to win a round as well if you're NAVI. It's not like they're going to build up some crazy confidence there. If anything, they feel quite thankful that they didn't walk into a stack. And so they managed to slip one past sAw, but there's still a lot of runway for NAVI truly take off.
So well done, Alexi. I mean, he pieced that together fantastically for NAVI, but you've just got to do it 7 more times. Oh, and then it resets. Then you go again. So sAw call a timeout. They get ahead of it. A team that absolutely wants to make the most of this opportunity.
Yeah, chance for Berry to weigh in. Interesting addition within the sAw side of things. We saw him subbing him back at Blast London, and they sung his praises a hell of a lot. Berry, someone who's had his times, even had his time in the server, back in that Sprout squad, during some trials and tribulations of the roster there, but someone who I don't think you looked at and immediately thought like he could up the level of a team like sAw. But after that London event, they were really singing his praises. So let's see what he's cooked up. Heading into this round right now. Can't stop the A-rush, not initially. Roman's trying to battle back from main, but Imma lights out through the smoke.
Funnily enough, one of the weakest A setups you're going to see, right? SAw very heavy on the extremities, spotting from heaven, playing 2 in main. That's where the kills come in on the entry. They don't have anyone really backside or inside closed door. So NAVI actually just make another fantastic call and go from this drop down lower that maybe sAw think they're going to repeat and then bust upper. So chain together 2 very nice calls, and the play and the individuals show up, get the entries they need, and NAVI do it again.
Now, I think usually you wouldn't be getting worried yet. You're still a long way from worry, and I'm hesitant to say I even am, but I think if anything, this game could end up representing a very legit test of the mentality of sAw.
Yeah.
The thing that set this squad back was feeling like they were so close only to have it snatched away back at the major, and that really, it felt like they were trying to run away from that ghost for the remainder of the season. And so we've credited their confidence, their gumption, how they have got that faith back, but this is now their time to prove that they're not that same team that can crumble when they have the big leads. They're not going to throw it away this time. This is where they can showcase some real change versus the current #1 team in the world.
I was going to say, what better team to show that mentality against? NAVI, a new round, a new idea. The smoke replenished on ramp. UJUX with a full belt despite that. And because of the smokes outside, where NAVI did get spotted crossing, there's a rotation down B this time. That's all by design. That's what NAVI wants. As they lay up topside util, they might meet them on ramp. Try and go for this lower hit. UJUX got to watch out. Here they come. Team Flash.
Yeah, the Team Flash could help him out here. Tries to play his hand. Mutiris is burning alive, and so NAVI have found their route in. They take the ramp control. sAw fast drop 2 down towards lower.
Again.
You've seen this setup before if you're NAVI. This time, Arostos will not be around to draw attention away from Roman. Instead, he is that first point of contact, so he has to start strong. First kill connects. Roman defending this Empire. sAw 4v3 as Roman once more eludes capture. Brought to his knees by Wonderful. sAw only one man down at lower. Arostos unaccounted for. They don't know he's here, and he doesn't swing that door yet. Instead, he waits for his teammates. Mutir is knocked out, and Imma in with the backstab. sAw, it's down a story. AWP retrieved, and he's out of there. NAVI claw their way back in. You thought Roman might have done enough with that double down at lower. But NAVI are hard to put away. Wonderful is putting on a show. Imma is having these late game recoveries. And he's been one of the best players for NAVI here at IEM Cologne. Imma's had some fantastic games. So with him roaring to life, with Wonderful in great form, NAVI have still got fight left in them.
Yeah, that's very awkward for Arostos, just holding nothing, looking at the door. His teammate makes contact, so that makes him turn, but NAVI pieced that round very well together, planting for the position they had and clearing what they didn't. Going back to that single door, and that's after Roman almost just wins the round. 2 kills, not playing safe this time and hiding and trying to play late like he did previously. He's looking for those kills. He almost takes out Wonderful to win the round and the game. Instead, NAVI keep it stringing together. They don't have a choice. Any blemish on the record and they're done. Story's just been getting full smoked every round. 4 smokes this time for NAVI outside to get them crossing down to secret. Spam all you want. sAw haven't had anything when it comes to outside kills. So NAVI yet again, creep a player down lower. And sAw have to decide whether they want to believe it or not. The guessing game of the smoke wall. Instead, they go for an aggressive lobby clear. And this could be potent. NAVI right now not watching this. And there's a hub player to act off the back of it with the guy going up roof. There's just less manpower in here. Bit will reposition in time. Bomb spotted. And if he repositions back, Arostos should have the drop, leg shot, and bomb loose.
JL's
Don't know about
to be the one trading this, but yeah, it's that AWP watching on that could uproot the entire game plan. Wonderful hops in. JL still yet to make a move, and a missed shot from that AWP. JL now gets involved. Strike him while the irons hot back in the lobby. It's got to be team captain Mutirez or nothing.
How are NAVI winning these rounds? This is shocking. From more man downs, they're doing it like sAw in the first half. Doing it when they're getting pressured, pushed, with all the info for sAw, and it's these margins. If another shot connects, if Story hits with the AWP, the game is done. But instead, NAVI keep fighting on. 4 rounds straight on this T side, and some of these couldn't be closer.
So that question we posed earlier, sAw, their struggles have come in closing. And that's what we're hoping they've built back from.
Messy.
Will things be different this time? Up against the pistols, NAVI are in a good way. Mutir in with the backstab. Might be able to find Imma out in the yard as he lurks around. But his teammates are so stringy, they're so split up here, that even this one kill, if it comes through, might not be a deal breaker for NAVI. Imma's been given a lot of room here. Mutir is standing to miss this timing as Imma climbs up into the heavens.
They know it could happen. They just can't stop it.
Roman holding on to this. Would have to hit a blinder of a shot. He's seen the head. He's got the indication. Has to connect, and it's just a body shot out of Roman. Imma, quick work made of the top side anchor. And so that bomb plant comes in. There are now 3 rounds in this game. 3 rounds between NAVI and overtime. 3 chances for sAw to run away with Nuke.
Yeah, it's a very different game now. I don't think you could imagine a more heartbreaking map to lose with what sAw showed us on that T side, how they capitalized on it at the start of the half. And now NAVI just streaking rounds, 5 straight.
This is poetic. This is so emblematic of the sAw major run.
It's either all going to happen again and we see sAw drop the ball from a fantastic position, or we're going to see them tested to their might and live to fight another map.
The thing that's very exciting is I think if sAw are able to overcome, if they are able to stop this streak, this terrifying resurgence from NAVI, that's where they unlock the...
Yeah, you know you can. You've done it.
Extra level, right? The only thing that this team's been missing out on. If they don't, and if NAVI pull us into OT, I fear we might see old problems rear their head again for sAw. NAVI, no one expected them to have to come back from this much of a deficit, but right now they're making a convincing case for it. 5 in a row out of the 8 that were needed. Another one of these slow starts with the outside smokes coming in, but the extra time has lent a little bit of room to Ujax to make a play out through secret.
Yeah, we haven't had any info. That's been the issue for sAw. NAVI go down B and sAw don't even realize. So having a player in secret is fantastic. They also have the AWP on the cross. It's a missed smoke for NAVI. There's a gap. There's info, but they drop the ball. He unscopes at the wrong time, and IEM runs right past that Molotov to find a 5v4. Disaster strikes for sAw again. It's up to Roman, or this one's over.
He's been good with the multi-kills. He's the veteran guy on the squad, but needs something big here. Gets out with one. Levels the playing field. If you're Roman, you'll take that. Saw it in dire straits, but as he tries to get back up the vent, Wonderful plucks him out of the round.
One tap.
They've lost Roman, and so someone else has to be the hero for sAw.
They were winning these rounds all over in the first half, but NAVI have got them trapped. Look at Wonderful's position. He's about to shoot Arostos in the back of the head if he can get up heaven safely.
Molly and Heaven meant to slow this. Mutir is trying to take the space, but Wonderful has been dispatched to deal with this position. Holding onto the ladder, he won't be given this angle, and so Arostos has to watch too many spots, too many positions, ready for the Heaven round, but out comes Mutiris. Quick trade, but a man down. Is this the round where they want to risk it? Mutiris hops into the Lion's Den. Story's orb fires off, and now it's all eyes on Alexi. Are things different for sAw this time? Will they get the result? Mutiris seems to think so, as the captain locks in Nuke, the opening map. sAw's map pick, one map closer to the semi-finals. Into the grand finals, beating both G2 and FaZe on this map. It became a cornerstone of that major victory, and now once again it becomes an important map for NAVI as they stand one away from a quarter-final placing if they fall to sAw here.
Yeah, it'd be one thing to be getting blown out of this series, but NAVI woke up near the end of Nuke, so we'll have to see if they can put that warm-up to use in this map 2 of the series and turn it around on a third at Inferno. sAw with wind in their sails, flying forward with the opening kill, but that's a bomb traded back by Alexi B, who's armed and dangerous and joined by his team through Donut.
Roman, first man on the scene, but going to struggle to get involved here as everyone else has crossed into the site. IEM trying to take space away over at Donut. An awkward exchange to open, but there's Wonderful lending a helping hand. As he comes up big with 2, it's all eyes on Roman. Was great and reliable in these multi-kill moments back on Nuke. But expecting a 1v3 out of him here with lost CT, lost Donut. There should be no world back into this pistol for Roman, and he knows it. JL really drives that home, and so NAVI are going to get off to a good start on their map pick.
That's reassuring. You talked about the history of NAVI on Ancient. Well, sAw don't really have that history, right? Sure, the last time they played a team of NAVI's stature, a tier 1 opponent, was back in London. If you remember, it was their opener against FaZe. They started T-side. They went 10-2 up, Harry. They lost the game in overtime, rather. So it was a huge comeback. Their CT side having so many holes. So there's big questions, regardless of that second half, of whether sAw have upped the level on this defense to be able to compete with NAVI. Messi sprays in middle, but NAVI get out with 4 alive. No concern. And here comes sAw, soaring into an integral first gun round on this CT side. It's not going to be like Nuke, I can tell you that much. But it doesn't mean it's unwinnable.
Trying to make a move out here in middle, but just a volley of flashes from both sides deny that instant mid take. Emma's still going to get this leverage over the mid area with JL helping from heaven. So they get what they're looking for. A little slower than they would have liked, and without that early fight I think they were actually hoping for, but still, mid goes the way of NAVI. Emma very, very close to the red room here as Story looks on. Mutira's just re-smoking at Donut, making the decision to block. He doesn't want to be involved in this. He doesn't want to be that first domino to fall and open up the A split. But NAVI looking like they might just force this fight. Right as Mutira's was about to go back, the flash misses! The flash misses! Oh no! First kill found, Wonderful dead. So now Mutira's very annoying back in the donut, and one missed flash might have just made all the difference here unless Bit can clutch up.
Comms are in. He gets a quick plant. He's got great position for it. Bit with a chance.
He can make this right. He can right the wrongs of a missed flashbang that offsets the entire round right here, but they are sticking the bomb. They're calling his bluff. That kill comes through. Mutiras needs to win it, and he will. The man who closed out that last map of Nuke finds success for sAw in their first rifle on Ancient. The veteran player of Mutiras.
Yeah, that's not a 1v1 you expect him to win right when Bit forces him off the defuse. Finishes what he started. One of the most legendary Portuguese players and beating one of the best aimers in the game right now in a 1v1. That's one way to start it, but it all comes crumbling down because of NAVI's missed flash. Without that missed flash, Mutiras probably gets run over in Donut. There were multiple players coming through that smoke. So a little mistake for NAVI, capitalized upon well by sAw. Can't be affording those misses.
Yeah, it's a game of very slim margins, and sometimes all it takes is one missed comm, one missed flash. And that could be the difference between a great start, having your opponent down in the dumps, and now a game that could really close up quick. NAVI come through with another buy, sure, but it does have limitations here. They don't have as much util. They're going to struggle to get away with the same level of mid control here as a result. And so your options get restricted. Plays get taken away from you. You have to keep it a lot more bare bones here. JL, oh, that would be a way to start.
What?
Roman never even knew what hit him.
Traced. They're just going to smash up the ramp right now. Smokes it down as well, so sAw just going for a hero play with that flash. No one swings off of it. Mutira's cut down on rotation. Nujugs waited in the cave, and he dies with a full set of util. This has gone from bad to worse for sAw. And just trying to save their AWP. Even that's not guaranteed. Not enough to tempt you into a retake. But maybe enough to open up a path to escape here. NAVI, off the back of an excellent spam from JL, pieced together a 3 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at that first map in the series, Wonderful was firing on all cylinders, but it was that rifling trio that had been so successful across the event for NAVI that was struggling to get the ball rolling. I don't think that's solely down to the individuals. I think sAw made life very, very hard for them. But if you get a bit more mileage out of someone like JL...
It's insulting, honestly.
If Imma in some of these mid-takes or Bit on some of his lurks can find success, that's usually the bulk of the legwork for this NAVI T side. Alexi's going over the notes.
That was crazy, that spam. Even just going for exits like that is so cocky. I mean, you're just risking your gun for 1 kill, but you know you're trying to get in NAVI's head. And their wallets as well. Alexi's on a Mac 10 now, but he's not complaining against 3 USPs with no armor. The tear through them, pop into the mid smoke. Oh, Aros Dos. 2 kills in middle before he's gone. And Materius has grabbed a rifle as well. Roman's waiting to play off of his teammate's contact.
Right, they're both full blind in those mid fights. Materius tapped that one with the USP for crying out loud, and now armed with this AK. And a second man pushed up over towards the cave. It looks like they want to try and come for this lane control. They want to try and come to NAVI. JL tag, that orb fires off. Will Ujergs be able to pick this up? Smoke goes down. That one's free. Roman makes a move out through the cave side. This round only featured those saved guns for sAw. Everyone else was rocking pistols. And they sit in a 4-on-2. The job is not done yet.
Great realization of the gap, though, for NAVI. They've seen 3 players at B. They just start picking up the pace and try and hunt down this 1A player. Little do they know it doesn't exist. A bomb plant's allowed, but Bit must wait for the low JL to rotate him. 50-50 on the molly. He's going to get it down.
This is such a rare opportunity for sAw. You don't often get to break through NAVI like this.
JL has shown presence A main, and that means he needs to be really quick in this rotation to Donut and hope that sAw don't read his position so he can clutch.
If he's left up in the 1vx, low on health, that would be dire. They get on the bomb. They're trying to put pressure. They want Bit to fight this. They want him to peek this. Right now, he's calling their bluff. Knows the kid's not in play. He tries to swing out, but Mutiris is there to cover. And the molly falls too shallow. A robbed round for sAw. They break through. They keep that pressure on. Even with USPs, you can't discount this team.
It's such a brutal round win. I mean, even though NAVI, I like how they try and maneuver in that 2v4, but if anything, the bomb plant without picks does them no favors. sAw have an orb, they have a rifle on top of the defuse covering, and the molly falls short, doing no favors for NAVI. They're just going to go and try and go group, try and go explosive, and that A site is a perfect remedy. Heavy mid, heavy B, no one home.
When you're starting heavy mid like this, you know that this is the concession you make. You're vulnerable to the fast A play. Now sAw, will they be able to withstand it with Mutiris and Aros Dos both dead out of the gate? Oh. Not a good look.
Perfect call.
Down. sAw back to the drawing board on this one. They've got to write this round off. Very well done from Alexi to realize that they like this double mid take, and with that, concessions are made. Calls their bluff with the A-side rush. And so back and forth to open up Ancient. Back and forth we go. As once more, these guns will be saved for sAw.
Oh yeah, grab that AK upgrade. Ujex just goes running in. Had a Mac 10 on Roman before, so decent escape. But NAVI, bit by bit, are getting rounds. Surely not Bit. Oh, he's looking for that AK, couldn't find it. Nothing to grab. Nice pace set. We'll see how sAw react to that, knowing it's a possibility. I wouldn't put it past NAVI to do it again. It's not necessarily the kind of calling it Alexi often goes for, but maybe to flex on an underdog. NAVI could keep the pace high, but shuffling some guns in spawn a little late out. Bit gets his Mac 10. Doing grenades as NAVI charge middle. No one can stop them. Orb blocked by the red smoke and Donut replenished. So sAw have no idea what's going on the map right now. They don't know numbers.
I think if you're Alexi, you're anticipating that some scars have been left from that last A call, especially as sAw go lax in the mid control effort.
So ending B feels like a nice idea.
Always going to give and lend a little bit of room to either Bit or Ema on the lurks that they want to make come to fruition. And right now it's Ema in that position, pushed up into the red room. Whoa. He gets cleared by Story. JL once more tries his hand at this B spam that netted them around last time. But nothing connects. Up through ramp, Ujerks right here, actually gets flashed in, plucks Alexi out of the round. But JL's quick with the trade. They've got him boxed in over at ramp, trapped on the left-hand side, and that AWP is bearing down upon JL. Any movement here could get punished by Story's AWP. And so for the time being, NAVI have had to slow down, lending some time to Wonderful. But Story doesn't want to wait. They want this kill on JL at ramp, and they go get it. Wonderful spots Arostos, not able to win that out, and that leaves it all on Bit.
Wonderful's not ready to be fought there. It looks like Arostos is smoking to escape. He's smoking to fight. Catches him by surprise, and the orb leg connects as well. Story just comes swinging. Will that be a bridge too far? Bomb planted. Roman doesn't want to risk the spam. That gets Bit's gun back out and in action. Arostos heard on a flank. Roman needs to wait. He's giving away the chance. And Bit should know. He should have heard him from middle. Stood still, unwavering, waiting, and clutching up is Bit. That's a throwaway for sAw, and one they cannot afford.
And that is so well done from Bit. Those are the sort of antics that have been missing in this game for NAVI. You don't give this guy an advantage. He will press it home every single time. A swing from Story that felt inconsequential after he lands the tag. He believes he's got that kill dead to rights. Does that shake the faith of sAw? Up until now, they've believed in every one of those engagements, but a couple of missteps gives Bit a 1v4 clutch.
I don't even mind the repeat for Story. You've legged him with an orb, you're in a 1v3, you repeat with a pistol, there's a molly behind you, that's fine, but you know, Roman coming late from, was it Roman first?
Yeah, Roman
first. He heard his teammate come up heaven, but so Roman feels like, oh, Bit thinks this player is slower. He doesn't realize I can play first, but you may as well just wait for your teammate. You're not getting any benefit by going first. It's so much risk. Bit's only info is watch out cave. That's a disaster. If they swing together, I feel like that's unlosable. Bit's 10 health. That's a real uppercut.
I think the thing that makes it hurt even more for sAw is earlier in the game, not only did you just lose a 4v1, which is already heartbreaking enough, earlier in the game, when they had the hero guns and they're 4v2, they don't jump the gun on the A rotate and they wait for the team to come together. And those were the rounds that like the old sAw used to actually frequently throw away because they would get too overzealous. They would try and end the round too quickly. They would feel like it was slipping through their fingers even when it shouldn't.
And now it may.
But now it has. Ema out towards this B site, makes quick work of Ujerks. And so up against the pistols and a hero AWP investment from sAw, there's no resistance. NAVI on the wings of a Bit 1v4 clutch. sAw into the lead.
Yeah. This might end up being a dominant game where all you're thinking about is that clutch. sAw with huge potential to keep trading rounds early in the map. That's what this was, back and forth the whole way. That clutch has broken the money, it's changed the tone, and it's certainly going to have done a number on the mentality of sAw. A very disappointing round to lose. NAVI enact a clean anti-eco off the back of it. And let's see if they can give us a T-side worthy of world #1 here, as they have sAw on the ropes.
Back to this double mid take. Back to trying to fight for the mid control. Have to worry about heaven. It's been smoked off, so coming in fast is Alexi. He's traded places with Roman. Now he owns the cave, and Ujerks moving right in. Knife out, what? Knife pulled for Ujerks. They knew Alexi. Oh no, they never saw him. Sneak past Roman over towards the lane. And so that comes as a real surprise to Ujerks. No idea he could have got there. And so now Story trying to make amends, trying to make up for it as Alexi turns his attention into the back line. This round won and lost on the cave fights, and so at least Mutiras responds with one of his own. They lose their AWP on the spawn side. They know where the last man is. How will NAVI handle the 3-on-1?
Slow and steady.
sAw misplayed theirs last time. In and around this B site. Will NAVI make the same mistakes? Wonderful closes in on this AWP. And Mutierrez cannot bait the shot out of him. It's well handled, composed from the NAVI squad.
We need that full round replayed. That elbow fight, sneaking out through the smoke, Alexi getting great timing and also realizing as well. That's why Alexi's so good at those positions. He knows he snuck past a player because his teammate gets the heaven kill. At that point, Alexi knows he has the best timing. They're completely unaware of him. He can backstab that B bomb site and NAVI close with ease. sAw's Cinderella story, breaking like glass on this CT side. Pop in middle, full blind, and it doesn't stop NAVI.
Oh, Roman with some trickery of his own.
It's 3 players here though. Oh, reload! Oh no! Oh no! Oh, yeah. Turn the cameras off.
I think the thing that's going to feel really bitter for sAw is knowing that this could have been a far closer game, knowing that this could have been a very competitive CT side, and then they kind of make a mistake of old, the sort of mistakes that sAw would find themselves on the receiving end of it and suck all the momentum out of their runs. And they felt like they'd moved past that. They felt like they'd grown beyond it. So will they let that 1-4v1 define this entire CT side?
NAVI will.
Very, very quickly going that way. NAVI, finger to the pulse here since picking it up. They've not dropped a beat. So when we question resilience, the questions really are leveraged towards sAw. NAVI, they've shown that they can keep their heads in these games. You don't get to be world #1 without proving that you've got resilience.
Yeah. And they almost proved that on map 1, but instead they'll just do it across the series. In an attempt to bounce back from that opening map.
Alexi's had even more to work with here as well, with Bit and JL both fielding some stellar looks. On this T side of Ancient, Ema might not be topping the charts, but even he's been a nuisance to deal with down in middle. Oh. And speak of the devil, he shall appear. Aros Dos on the receiving end of this Ema mid-swing. Mutierrez does not want to try and fight him here, especially not with Heaven Control getting taken. His teammates trying to reclaim this, and Roman has pushed through.
Oh no.
JL, that one's free as he cracks the smoke wide open.
Oh dear. No one saw it, it's okay. 4v3, but good control from Wonderful. He's up in the red room, however, they have nice passive angles. Story doesn't need to walk into this necessarily, but they're going to go crunch together. That allows Wonderful to isolate. He's not ready for a re-swing, but he hears a step. And so that gives up the name of the game. Wonderful. Bloodlusting for this follow-up kill. And now he knows Ujerks probably is close on one of these 50-50 angles. This is awkward for Bit if he doesn't get it clean, but he's quick with it. Wonderful, that's a surprising miss. And it's opened up a world, a will, maybe a way.
Roman's still a ways out. Ujerks wanted to try and take the pace and the timing to make a move there, but blocked off at the spawn. He's got no choice but to wait for Roman. A lesson learned maybe too late in the game for sAw here. Ema goes back and looks for this fight in Donut. Can't win it out. Bit's gonna have to clutch up again. But his clutches, his reads, his aim have been what's destroyed sAw here as another clutch comes through for Bit.
He's just so confident, so comfortable. He has the option to play cover, play the bomb. He chooses to stand in the open both times in these clutches for Bit. And they're not ready for that. Shot in the head.
There is one man's name that sends shivers down the spine of sAw in this second map. And it's Bits, living rent-free with 2 key clutches on this T side.
14 and 3. Even that, I think if anything, the entry into Donut is just as impressive to even get them the bomb plant. Unstoppable. JL doesn't want to stop. Walked up ramp as well. Easy entry on the AWP, and he's got the players behind him to assist. 2 more kills put NAVI in for a 10-round T-side on map 2.
It's already a great scoreline, but how they've got there, how punishing it's felt, how the individuals have got switched online. It's a different NAVI and some old problems for sAw. They worked hard over the player break to right their wrongs, to reignite that belief, that spark. It's done them well enough to get into the playoffs, but it's a whole different beast now to have to bounce back after that. Bits clutches send NAVI onto a terrifying T-side.
Come on.
Bit bites back. Blades Behemoth has risen to the occasion here with 2 key clutches to influence how Ancient has played out. With consistent face showing from Wonderful across the series, now feeling like it really matters. NAVI sporting one hell of a lead as they look to long out this series and remain in the conversation for that path straight to the semis.
Yeah, 7-round streak on this T-side for NAVI, and we mentioned saw's T-side against FaZe back at London, how they blew them out of the water, but they couldn't close in that second half. Well, now they're on the receiving end. Can they make the comeback? Bit doesn't believe so. Picking Materials out of the middle. Saw groups for B, but we've seen these setups before. NAVI more than capable and comfortable playing a retake on this B site, and there's not even a smoke on long. JL can maybe catch him crossing in. Some shots going astray, but he's done some damage, and they can come swinging as a unit. The flash is good. Bomb. Oh, denied. He has to get off it. They start running them down, and Story stuck in the site with no help, no hope, no chance as they take him out, and that's the bomb under NAVI control. Aros Dos needs all trace, but NAVI will not give him this time of day.
So out of all the ways that NAVI could have hoped to answer back after Nuke falls in saw's favor, after the strong first half that sAw put forward, the best way they could have looked to respond here is with a decisive victory on Ancient. That, as we touched upon coming into this map, has been very closely tied to NAVI's results at these events. One of the cornerstone maps of their run through the playoffs back at the Major. One of the maps that was the reason they fell shy of their ambitions at the start of the year in Katowice.
A map that people were annoyed NAVI were given the chance to play in those major playoffs. A map that maybe never should have been a factor. Living to regret it in some vetoes. And even though we've been hung up on the Cinderella story of this Portuguese squad here, even in this series, it is reassuring to see NAVI land back on their feet after being just outplayed on Nuke. Some incredible rounds from sAw on that previous game.
Yeah, and I think, you know, with the fashion in which these bit clutches have come through, there's no surprise that sAw have been blowing out the water here. Those are swing moments, swing rounds, and mistakes that sAw have been prone to making in the past. So those ones leave a mark in more ways than one. The test for sAw is going to be in the remainder of the series, right? Can they bounce back? Last time it took them the player break to regain that form, to regain that confidence. Well, they're not going to have that. They're going to have just shy of, 15 minutes. For NAVI, this is very promising. A slow start to the series doesn't matter if you finish strong. And with that rifling trio upping their level alongside Wonderful, who is having a good start, has kept it up across the series. NAVI become a lot more potent.
Oh dear. What an aggressive move for Ima, and a knife in the back just to rub salt in the wound. And it's not going to get better for sAw. Tears in the eyes. They burn alive. 2v4 now in the donut. Bit stands open. Aros Dos guns him down. They go hunting for another kill together. This could be a good route, but it's cut down by Ima, and NAVI take a dominant win, 13-2. sAw move to Inferno. They will have to swim with the sharks because they can't unsink this ship.
Making history for their region, and they're now facing off against the top dogs in the third and final map. Inferno was where this whole story started for sAw, besting big in the play-in in a tight match here on this map to get to the group stage, and then opening on day one of groups with that win over G2 that culminated on Inferno, G2's map pick. So as they get out in the top middle, it's a one and done for Imma down here in the boiler, but Bit takes up position. Bit was the guy that ruined Ancient for sAw. And he tries to start Inferno the same way.
Bomb has been planted.
Got to take positions quickly, back up in the apps. These are a high risk, high reward play, but Arostos does it. He can really tuck in now. There's currently no kit for NAVI, no smoke to block positions. They've got to win this on duels and they've got to win it quick. Roman forcing a kill, but he will fall immediately, and Arostos, there's only so many positions he can be in. NAVI have pieced it together, trying to keep the pressure on. They need to get on that defuse right here, right now. No one's even tapped yet, let alone the stick. And it comes in, Arostos trying to get him off, and he can't stop the inevitable. NAVI take pistol. The first of many steps in the right direction. sAw may have come storming into Nuke, but they learned their lesson on Ancient. There's still questions to be answered though, right? Tape for sAw is plentiful on a map like Inferno. For NAVI, sure, they won a major on this map, but since that point, they've barely played it. And recent results were not good against Liquid.
I think if anything, Inferno as the third map is super interesting because, as we say, for sAw, it was like what kind of started this whole journey to be in this position. For NAVI, it's become a bit of a point of contention after what we saw back in the Blast groups, falling both times to Liquid there.
That being said, I felt like that almost gives NAVI a benefit because it immediately gave them something to work on and focus on at the start of the season. Like, okay, if one of these classic maps that we are happy to play is poor for us, we need to fix that now, and they certainly do. sAw exploding, Liquid-esque, just quick out apps in that second round. We've seen that before. And so they're going to get a bump on and a healthy chance at this second round force buy.
They don't give anything up. They stand to win this round on the force. If they just don't give NAVI a reason to go for this. And look, you can see Alexi was hanging around for a moment. Nothing was offered. So rather disgruntled as he goes, it looks like he's called for the save.
Yeah, JL's pretty stubborn.
He made noise running away, like fired the MP9 over towards B.
This only works.
Still looking in.
Yeah, this only works if they leave really early, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Yeah, this is done. He gave it a cursory glance. But sAw are going to take that force in their stride. But that's the thing, you know, the recent results were, sure, not perfect for NAVI. They learned their lesson against Liquid, but historically this has still been a map strong for Alexi, even in his former rosters. And even with this team, NAVI have taken down plenty of top opposition.
Still, don't underestimate what a bit of momentum and a strong start can do, right? Absolutely. And that's what sAw are kind of staring down the face of right now. If they stick the landing here, which is still a big if.
Yeah, Bubsky was talking about this on the desk about how you know, the T-mollies taking Banana very easy. Oh my. sAw's util on this map is something to be marveled at, right? They were blowing G2 to smithereens with HEs up Banana the other day. So we'll keep our eye on that without a doubt. JL tucked in, needs to be hard cleared here, and Story is just sneaking through, but he still gets the kill. Could be split, bombs in apps. And if it goes any further, IEM might be able to drop it. So wrapping round the world, and this bomb's still very far away, but they're 2v1ing Alexi B.
He hears the footsteps, though. When you hear someone pushing up through spawn like that, you're going to be able to call the rotates. The big question is, does Mutiras get there in time?
Just a run.
He's still keeping it pretty low and slow, trying to get up through Banana now as NAVI give chase. But it does look like he's dodged this dangerous timing.
Nice deep smoke as well. That smoke essentially ends around. NAVI don't realize like how close they were to the bomb, how late it was. So it gets decided for them. Couple of guns to take home. But sAw somehow getting Story all the way in through spawn. And Ujux finds the entry that wins the round, so
there's already a couple of promising signs here. They're not only have they taken control of the money early on, bit multi-kills in
Both rounds.
Both rounds. And both times they've been able to trade it, and then in those 3v3 moments come together in a way where they actually play the round very, very safe. And those were essentially like what ended up making Ancient feel so cursed, right? You lost the swing clutch moments at the hands of Bit, the guy who is still offering up these sort of multi-kill moments, only this time you're able to deal with it. This time you're able to meet NAVI halfway and offer up resistance there. And so that's confidence boosting for sAw, and they needed a confidence booster after how Ancient went. Wonderful with a very audacious peek to open up this round. Just swings the bottom of mid dry with the AK. Doesn't see anything.
Kind of got to make those plays, right? Because if sAw figure out where the rifles are, if they burn util correctly, NAVI going to have very little chance to win this round. So Molly comes up banana, 2 of them in fact. And Ema, oh, he tries to escape, look for the fight. Molly, nade, another Molly, another nade. He's not safe. And so that gun gets removed. Wonderful trying to put his to use. Arosdos in a punishing position. Oh, he goes round the corner. And there's the trade out. Gun dropped, but no one to retrieve it. sAw set up to hit B.
You've learned where the AK is, so that's very much going to influence where sAw look to go. That AK could still get removed, and with Roman picking that up, they are currently walking in to this NAVI 2-man stack, but with just the deagle on JL. Alexi!
Careful.
Hang on! His USP is roared to life. Mutiris is here alone. Roman's trying to wrap through the spawn.
Yeah.
And Mutiris will land the spam to find him. Alexi makes it interesting there for a moment. But sAw do well to remove that last man.
Good try for NAVI. But we've already seen just in 4 rounds the util up banana and how efficiently placed it is for sAw. Making sure that neither of these hero rifles win the round for NAVI. But now everyone has one. Wonderful's AWP. Let's see if he's going to be making plays in this game. Or if he will just be relegated to his traditional passive style. Story's putting his to use. Tries to get that instant B pick to send sAw slamming into this site. But Alexi lives to tell the tale.
Wonderful actually moves on over. Might be a clash of the orbs here.
This is crazy.
Looks like NAVI want to try and move back in, retake some of this control outside of B. The orbs clash and Wonderful comes out ahead.
Headshot.
Quick flick on a story, no easy feat. It's a bomb retrieved for sAw. Oh, but Roman, he now recognizes the strength of this position. Going to try and come in with the backstab, and Bit's ready for him.
Oh,
that's awkward. The info's here for NAVI. They know where both players are. Arosdos, what can you expect him to do here? Tries his hand at the spam, spots that other player in rotation. But Arosdos is boxed in, and with the bomb down up in the apartments, this should be an unlosable round for NAVI. And an unwinnable one for Arosdos. As he moves back over towards short, Wonderful owns this angle. So it's a shutdown. The first time that orb comes out for NAVI, its effect is felt right away.
Good hype for Alexi. Very important round for NAVI to just land cleanly, to get their gun rounds going early after sAw win a force buy and throw this whole game into disarray very early in the map. Some nice shots connecting for Wonderful. And I love that Bit runs away, but still considers that he could be getting tracked by sAw, who will just sneak around the corner in anticipation that he wouldn't be ready. Why would he give me so much info? But it's all by design, baited in by Bit. Plenty of experience for NAVI to fall back on. In a game where now sAw should certainly be feeling the pressure this far deep.
Wonderful with a very aggro start. Takes that orb down into alt mid. JL in the meantime is getting pressured over at top banana, so all across the map there's fights breaking out, and Wonderful nearly misses the timing on his one. JL with a bit of help from Alexi B looks to withstand the B play, but he can't. Roman deals with both those players taking the aggro B line. Imma gets here quickly while Bit tries to launch the backstab. Arosdos with the turn.
Ouch.
This was a low buy round for sAw. If they can get past Imma, they're on their way to a winner. But there's the lineup. Imma knocks them down. And it's that Deagle on Arosdos that's gonna need to stick the landing in recovery here. Bomb away from him. Imma not giving him the fight. He's waiting for Wonderful. He's waiting to group. Arosdos might have hit one blinder of a shot, but now he's going to offer up two more in pursuit of this round. And there's that backstab. Wonderful. And the patience from Imma after getting that Mo down, set NAVI up for the equalizer.
That's an unfortunate, even clutch attempt for Arosdos. He doesn't actually get a chance to even play it. His routing, he's staring at his crosshair. He can't figure out where the bomb is. It's in the water. He doesn't get a gun, even though there's two on the site. By the time he picks up an AK, has 4 bullets, and they both just flank and peek. So doesn't even get a chance to get started there.
Important round for NAVI as well, all things considered, right? I know sAw come into it with not much to their name. It's those 4-sport guns and a collection of pistols. And if it wasn't for Imma's heroics, that could have very well been a sAw round. Instead, NAVI about to take pole position here on their CT side.
Oh, yeah.
Freebie for JL on the boost up.
You should start streaking a little bit here. Just facing sAw with the confidence that an anti-eco provides. It's quite a spot. But even NAVI have limits.
Just crickets for Story. No one down to take the big risk in hunting. And right as he makes his move, they'll spot him out. So cleanly done. They let Bit go get it on the MP9. Flawless round there for NAVI. We're going to try and break through here with their proper buy. Had a bit of time at the end of that round to plan this one out, thanks to Story taking it slow. They learned back on Ancient, you don't want NAVI in these positions to start streaking rounds together. They are a relentless team, much like sAw were when this series opened.
Oh, that's one play. Oh, UJUX just burned 100 to 10. He eats the molly, only to swing out last second. It's going to get him a kill, but nades will come flying through, and NAVI have 3 strong in banana, or at least they did. Obliterating sAw, despite the dangerous start that UJUX provides, and that smoke is perfectly timed. Wonderful's going to have to back up.
They attempted to react quickly to the info, right, that there were 3 starting B, but the pace has been taken out of the round masterfully by NAVI.
Oh, dear.
They looked ready for this reaction, but the best Bit could hope for, well, he actually got the other with the nades, so just Arosdos, and not prepared for Imma. Starts his round over at the B site, ends it, killing them in mid. Make no mistake about it, Imma has been instrumental to this CT side already.
Imma's glow up needs to be studied. I mean, there was a period even post major where it felt like he was going to be the first to go on this team. You know, couldn't repeat what he showed at Paris. He's gotten more and more comfortable inside of this squad. He's putting on higher impact every time. His T sides, his lurks, getting very impactful on maps like Mirage. Especially capable alone on Nuke outside to go down secret. We saw that in the first map, even though it didn't fall in NAVI's favor.
Yeah, I think, you know, NAVI, we spoke about this in some of their earlier games, but the fact that Bit and IEM were like two of the front runners in and around the major in the midpoint of the year that you would say, okay, if they were going to make changes, these would be the guys that you want gone. Well, Bit's gone on to be a terrifyingly consistent face within this team. IEM has really come into his own within his roles. And those two are able to take charge of games almost single-handedly now for NAVI. There's something to be said. Taking a look at Blade and his faith in this team. He trusted in Alexi when Alexi's stock was low, and he stuck by Bit and IEM in their positions, believing that they have what it takes. And that comes after, you know, before NAVI even went international, when you kind of look at what was happening there with the MPL edition, some Die Young in the squad for a bit. There were questions around it, but they've done a very good job of putting this roster together and then keeping up those performances. This whole thing feels like they're battling to earn the right to say they are the best team in the world. They want to dodge the fluke accusations from that major win and turn it into something special for NAVI.
Oh, Wonderful doesn't know, but he's going to hear the steps. He was fully blinded off that angle as IEM comes into spawn with a statement. We'll get re-peaked by you jerks, but winning this round is a far cry for sAw. 2v4. Bit, oh, he's got that spot as well. Bomb noted on short side. And just, you know, unrelenting repeaks from NAVI in this game right now. 6-3. That early start from sAw off of winning the force buy, but NAVI have had no problem now. 5 rounds in a row. We need to see if sAw can hang on this T side. This round would be one to do it because they're running out of track.
Yeah, you need Aristos and Ujerks to try and match the output of IEM and Bit. And that's easier said than done. Even though those two have been like the real driving force behind sAw, expecting them to keep it going is a tall order. NAVI, this next round gets to decide how crushing this first half is.
Yeah.
If they win this out, sAw are really down in the dumps. So this one is weighted heavily in sAw's hope in this series.
The WAP setup is so powerful as well. Aristos is going to be lurking on his T side. He's playing very slow at least, but NAVI have no reason to move with IEM having control of middle and checking it on frequent timings. Wonderful. Oh, he actually gets the leg shot, aiming very low. And they see the app setup is in place, so that might just speed sAw up on this B bomb side. They've got nothing else to work with. 5 on 4. IEM hanging around, considering this could be a B hit. Alexi's about to confirm it.
I mean, the fact that Aristos never made himself available to trade is such a big deal. Look at all the attention it's kept for NAVI over on that A side of the map. Right now, he's left this B site wanting for reinforcements, wanting for guns and crossfires, but the smokes have shut them out of the round. sAw cross on in, they're going to get that bomb planted.
Lovely.
Trying to nade the smoke open, but Alexi can't see a thing. Instead, it is IEM on the smoke spam to give them a reason to look into this round.
And now Bit rotates.
Only just now getting activated on this lurk. The one that got away looks to be the one to win this round for sAw. It just comes down to if they can buy him the time. And that's not a bad way to start. Stories up, slows the roll, and there's the backstab from Aristos.
Yeah, Bit's kicking himself. He hung around so late on long side to wait for the lurker. He knew it was coming because sAw had a 5v4. Aristos is the abs player. There was no reason necessarily for them to play 5 banana in that round, so the second Bit leaves is when Aristos comes around the corner. Very awkward timing. And a nicely pieced together execute from sAw.
I mean, that round there is one of the swing rounds of this first half.
They can absolutely make this an interesting game. You win a follow-up buy, suddenly NAVI have relatively lower money. AWP will certainly be under question. So, a chance for a 6-6 presented. A slow and tactical map akin to Nuke, where NAVI will really need to think this one through. Every rotation matters, every micro move on the map has implications 30, 40 seconds down the line. If you're caught in the wrong place, that could be the end of a round. Wonderful's got a spawn. He's going to put it to use. Just nades on B.
No one's won this banana fight yet. Wonderful. Looks to try and stake Navi's claim to this part of the map. First shot, but no further as he goes back in for even more. That's when Story gets the better of him. A key trade, a big voice to have removed here. That wonderful AWP now knocked out of the round. 4v4 gives way to this mid control for sAw. They're holding for this re-aggro, but IEM is not missing a beat. sAw's roll gets slowed here. They get out top mid, sure. But now what are they going to do with it?
Brutal headshot, and IEM just tucks in to the back of the site. Him and Bit both tucked. And Alexi smoked off, can potentially break this when he feels free to do so. Long is clear. He's about to learn that. Bit. Oh, great grenade thrown from the long side. IEM swings out for a double. They don't even know about Bit. They're going to find out the hard way. Story in a 1v3 just comes sneaking in. And NAVI, a very nice, a big 3K from IEM. 15 and 5. And that's with Wonderful just re-swinging into the AWP before the flash even pops. What that did do is free up JL to just send his team back to that A stack.
I mean, if IEM keeps up performances like this, if this becomes the story of NAVI, you could be seeing him in MVP level form. Third highest rated player at Cologne right now.
That'd be exciting.
And that's after a dip in performance in the midpoint of the year. Having to kind of rediscover himself, get comfortable with his spot in this NAVI squad. He is now one of the driving forces behind their success. El Agro will get punished. Story once more good for the opener on this B site aggression. But look at him, he's always in the right place. IEM is already around towards that B side of the map, and that is where sAw set their sights right now. Maybe they lend Arosdos a little bit of time just to keep these two players present over towards A, and now they look to make their move. Alexi dead, IEM blows the smoke open, playing his hand soon. They'll manage to get across here relatively unscathed in the 5v3.
Oh, again a break. Oh, it's a great flash before it as well, but they're going to be quick to trade. sAw aren't letting this one slip by the wayside. 1v4, they close and they find 5. It might just be enough on the T side to decide who's going to those semi-finals.
can't explain. I can't explain it. I go insane when we get naked. Hold me down, never let me go. Take me in, I want you to show. Hold me down, never let me go. Take me in, I want you to show me love.
5 rounds mustered up by the sAw T side as NAVI is spearheaded by Ema and Bit, both in championship form with semi-finals on the line and everything to play for. NAVI with a point to prove after taking a beating on Nuke. They swiftly responded on their map pick of Ancient, and now here on Inferno they hold a narrow lead.
Yeah, it's just enough for NAVI to feel comfortable, to feel safe, to feel like the better team. sAw is still impressed and surprised in this series. But it's time to see if they can come back against the odds. NAVI make it all the way up Banana. They don't even need to use this util. That can be saved for later for what feels to be a B execute. Wonderful and Alexi with the full kit. Bit lurking apps. Beast in this position. U-Jerks has all the nades, but doesn't realize there's 2 players real close. They try and punish him, falling back, and he's not going to get to use a single droplet of it. Roman on top of the boost, falls after nothing, and NAVI secure, surely, a pistol.
It was those T sides that did sAw so well in the matchup versus G2, where they took them down here on Inferno, so they're going to have to do it on the tougher side now versus an in-form NAVI, and with a NAVI that have picked up the pistol to open this second half. Bit by bit, that margin grows between these teams. NAVI came into this as the favorites. sAw were on that Cinderella story.
Oh, no saves either.
Oh!
Oh! NAVI clean with it right now.
Pistol round secured.
You mentioned Ema in MVP form. You mentioned Bit right behind him. I mean, coming into this game, NAVI in the top 7 highest rated players of this event. They have all 3, including JL. So it's certainly a good sign, especially skipping to a semi-finals. NAVI just 5 rounds away from the top 4.
Force buy up for sAw. They want to try and get back to that sort of tense back and forth we've had at the beginning of both maps 2 and 3. Hoping they can cook something up on the force buy, but if it falls short, you only give NAVI a bigger leg up here in this head-to-head, and that's not the start you wanted. Roman knocked out immediately. Now Gamble's being called as they try to rotate heavy over towards this A site, and Bit tears through them, plays the timing on that smoke drop in the apartments.
No respect.
Bomb has been planted.
sAw head out of this round deflated. Risked it all on a force buy, and they find nothing from it.
Love that walk for Bit. He realizes the smoke came from a top balcony, so he can just catch a player who hasn't pulled their gun out yet. And at that point, with the game NAVI are having running through the smoke, just a display of confidence for NAVI, and they just want to take the guns away, and any hope and weaponry sAw have is gone. Full eco. As NAVI find 9. We all got caught up on Nuke, and can you blame us? But fact of the matter is NAVI are the #1 ranked team in the world. And they are here at Cologne to prove that. One Kryptonite in Spirit, already gone.
Yeah, I think that's probably only bolstered the resolution of this NAVI squad. Making it feel like it's theirs to lose. It's a quick work made of the USPs here. NAVI could put this one to rest with a very clean T-side. This rifle round decides it. sAw, as a result of that investment in round 2, as a result of going for the force buy, they had to give up 2 on the back of that pistol round. And so that leaves them with 1 buy to stay in play for those semi-finals. They've risked it all on this round here. NAVI, lots of breathing room, lots of wiggle room. They come through with the bonus.
Let's see what sAw have got. Deep mid-smoke. NAVI break it open. Not wanting too much to be taken away from them, even pushing through, guaranteeing this space, negating the util. It's a great grenade down B. But JL only playing as a distraction, and Banana retrieves that bomb as NAVI group up on this apps take yet again, and with this heavy mid setup from sAw, if NAVI were to pop, they had a gap. Haros Doss relieving himself back to the site. Still playing timings, and this can go very wrong very quick.
Out towards mid they go. Ujax has to turn from that flashbang. It's Ema and Alexi on the openers. Mutir is sure, he rotates in, but the site's already been taken. The site's already lost. Running for the hills now as sAw.
Even with a double setup, I don't know what Ujax is supposed to do, because NAVI threw the flash on left side. They peek before it pops. As soon as he's turning, he sees them running out mid. So it's either eat the flash and just hope for the best, maybe get a kill, or turn and hope you can turn back in time. Neither option good. But what would be worse would be to lose these guns in the post plant. sAw attempt to save. Will NAVI relent? It seems like they may, just for a round. Guaranteeing 11. And giving sAw 1 more shot. But that's all.
Terrorists win.
Yeah, the group stage has been rife with upsets. This is one where NAVI, as they have been throughout their entire play through the groups, have just been looking to set the record straight. They're not buying into that. They're not falling down in these upset games. Group B's had better results to that end, but over here in Group A, sAw and the Mongols went on a tour of toppling title contending teams. NAVI were the ones that were unfazed by that prospect. And they are now 2 rounds away from locking in a semi-final berth.
So exciting that regardless of what happens, we get to see sAw in an arena, see how they face that kind of pressure. One of the 2 teams that didn't get to do that in London. Slow and steady for NAVI. They know this AWP is still in play.
I mean, NAVI and Alexi really know how to press these advantages. They know that at this scoreline, sAw will be playing safe. You don't feel the freedom to take risks, and risks often come in times of desperation when you're the underdog team at a scoreline like this. And so NAVI try to press that home as hard as they can with these slow rounds. Just the tag.
Lucky.
From Story's AWP, Alexi gets out alive.
Yeah, but they use that to force util and also hope to get an entry, right? Alexi jumps, the player swings to peek, but Story gets out of position in time. So all in all, sAw are pretty happy with that. But NAVI still want to commit to the site they know where util has been burned. There is not a smoke, nor a flash, nor a Molotov on this B site. And even though Maturius begins to rotate, NAVI will be coming through with the hit.
Story going to try reposition ahead of that smoke.
TikTok.
Flash goes in, but he's unblinded by it. Roman up on top of the boost. Good for the first. That Story AWP. I mean, we've seen him pull off some magical moments here for Story. And cleanly done on a JL. There just isn't time for NAVI here.
Left him a little bit too late on the hit, right? No room for error. A missed Molotov on that new box pillar. And so Story's able to get perfect cover after he gets a shot off at the back of the site. Okay, sure. Bit of a hit and a miss, or swing and a miss rather, for NAVI. No hit connects. Leaving it so late that even Maturius began to rotate back in 20 seconds. They did not believe that. And Blade just trying to iron out whatever he didn't like in that round.
Still a surprisingly tense moment, right? Like, you get stopped like that on a B play, sure. You have a lot more tricks up your sleeve if you're NAVI. You haven't had to delve too deep into the playbook yet, but you've kind of got sAw down in the dumps right now. You don't want them to get their second wind. Util exchanged over on Banana. And so now we're getting some of those risks from sAw. Taken in the early round, they try to aggress and take this Banana control away. JL finds good damage on the spam, but it's returned onto Wonderful. Softening up that T-side AWP. NAVI go back to this bit EMA tag team over towards the apartments. That was how they first broke through. Oh, the rest of NAVI start to work this control over towards Banana. sAw set up 3 strong here, so they seem interested in fighting for this. With the smoke down, they're never going to get the info in time that NAVI are no longer committed to Banana. Suddenly, Maturius has to hit the good timing here as that smoke comes out over towards Arches. He's got to get a move on. Maturius has got to be quick because NAVI are ready to hit this A site. Nade on short finds good damage. Molly to slow them down even more. It won't split up the push. NAVI can wait for that. But this has bought enough time for Maturius to join the ranks of this A-hold.
This is going to be really, really bad for sAw. Now they have a fighting chance all inside of the site, and Aristos trying to play passive from back of the pit. That's a great headshot for Alexi, but the lineup for Maturius, he needs to capitalize. He needs a third. 20 seconds. They chase him down, and Roman is not here in time to stop that bomb. It felt like sAw were in with a shot, but it was only blanks in the gun. Roman's gone, and NAVI are a point away from the semifinals.
Back to what works, back to the A play. Blinder of a shot hit from Alexi here on the opener. Story's AWP never given the time to get going. And even well handled onto Mutiris. If you remember, Wonderful was low that whole time, so Bit swoops in and lends a helping hand.
Great cover.
It's all flowing for NAVI. One misstep in a B play, but they don't let that define this T side.
Alexi got a brutal entry onto the AWP as well last round. A high impact opening kill from the in-game leader when it mattered. This time he's on 2 HP. Even an impact of a grenade will end his round, but JL comes flying in from the sky.
JL, and the J stands for jumping. NAVI, red carpet rolled out into those semis. Even luck starting to go their way now.
It's meant to be. Can anyone stop it?
sAw slid back. Story never got a chance to fire that AWP in the round prior. Will he get the chance? Up against match point. Semi-final point. Flash is wonderful, but timing shot connects for that AWP. And so Story never even got a chance to play in these last 2 rounds of Inferno. He's now relegated to the sidelines. Mutiris, first kill found, sure, but now they've got him trapped in a box. Wonderful takes the line. Crazy flick hit from Wonderful's AWP. And there's only Aros Dos between NAVI and those semi-finals. This one man, if they can uproot him, if they can get past him, those semis are locked on in. Roman is too far away. And so across the series, NAVI got posed an interesting question. When Nuke opened, they were surprised that sAw had the confidence to go for it, challenging NAVI on a strong map. But they answer the call. In spite of falling down to open, they dominate on Ancient. And they shut sAw out on Inferno. NAVI heading with their heads held high into those semi-finals. The squad that were able to stop sAw's reign of terror through the upper bracket.
Yeah, some incredible individual prowess shown by Bit, by IEM in this series. Wonderful when it mattered and when